Welcome along to the Army List Analysis series. I'm continuing to look at armies in late antiquity. Today I'm looking at the Breton 411 AD army with no allies. There are no allies possible with this army, so it's fairly straightforward, and a fairly straightforward list as well, because we don't have that many options. As you see, we've got a lot of infantry. We have the sub-Roman foot, we've maxed at 10, and we've got the Brythonic foot, and we've got 17 units of those units. This is all about numbers. Cavalry is just really going to back you up, although saying that, noble cavalry is one of my favourite units, because it's superior quality and only 44, so it's a great value for money there, that unit, and we can take 7, so that is a plus, so quite nice. And we've even got nomad horse archers. We've got 4, and there can't be that many armies in LA that have 4. We've got 4, which is really quite nice. One of my favourite units, but you really need a few of them. Group them together, concentrate your fire, and so if we've got 4, that's quite nice. We've got 27 infantry units, which is actually one of the biggest, if not the biggest army so far. Most armies, if you've been following my videos, in LA, around 10 to 12 units. Bosporan, I had 12 infantry. Dacian 15, Visigoth 12, Sassanid Persian 8, and the Arab city I had 10. So that's sort of the average. And then you do get armies like the Jewish Revolt. I had 22 infantry units. The Scots-Irish, which is quite similar to this army, I had 23 infantry units, but it's still not 27. And I was also messing around a little bit with the cav. If we took out, say, 5, I think it was 6 actually. If I took out 6 cav units, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've still got 5 cav units here, which is a nice number. We can actually add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more infantry units for 6 cav units. So that takes us, would you believe it, to 35 infantry units, which is absolutely gigantic. That is a huge number. We could actually probably almost stretch out our line from one edge of the battlefield to the other. It is just almost unbelievable. Now the quality, okay, you're saying, all right, so many of these units can't be that good. Now, what I do have to say is this army did get changed a bit. When you look at the stats, it's about 58% win rate, but that comes with a large pinch of salt, because this unit, and some of you could make comments below, but this unit was changed quite a lot from when the game first came out. These units, I think they were cheaper, and it was just a huge spam. I mean, this is still a huge spam army, but these units were actually better than they are now. They are actually below average quality. So I was doing some tests. They're not too bad against average infantry. Arab foot, Bedou foot, they're only 12 down on impact and 12 in melee. So That's not bad, but any kind of impact foot, they really suffer, especially because of their quality. Roman legionnaires, imitation legionnaires, they were double dropping quite a lot, disrupting on impact. They don't really do well against impact foot. Warband as well, they don't do so well. They're actually 122 down against Warband on impact, 112 against imitation legionnaires, 162 against the Roman legionnaires. So really keep them away from impact troops, but if you put them up against average troops, then they actually can hold, and you have to factor in their size. They are 720 men, so they do get the combat strength modifier after 2, 3, 4 turns. It kicks in, and so that means even though they've got poor quality, they're probably going to be about evens against Arab foot swordsman units, for example. Now these units, the Brythonic foot, they were absolutely great actually in my tests. I was really surprised. When they're only 33, at the beginning when I was doing my testing, I was thinking, gosh, we should maybe reduce the cost of these sub-Roman foot units because they're just not that great. But when you factor in with this list how many units you can bring and how well these units do, I mean, in my tests, they were, as an example, I had about a range of infantry going up against them. Arab foot, Warband, Bedou foot, imitation legionnaires, Roman legionnaires, and shield wall. I had about 5 of each. So there was about 30 impacts going on against these units. And only one of these units fragmented. Only one of them double dropped on impact against all of those units, including Roman legionnaires. So that is great, and there were only 3 disruptions out of 30. So what does that mean? That means that at 33, if your infantry can hold legionnaires, even warbands that cost 58, I mean a lot more than 33, if they can hold those type of units in place, and they were actually, would you believe, they were actually getting some lucky rolls in my tests as well, and they caused 3 enemy fragmentations in the melee round. So they were really holding well, and this is also borne out by a battle. I've been playing Warg. Some of you will know him. He's a bit of a legend, a bit of a veteran on the league and multiplayer scene, and he loves the Scots-Irish, and they have some of these kind of units. And going up against my impact foot, Sam Knight foot I had, as well as some, I think I had some imitation legionnaires as well. They were holding 100 down on impact, and they were holding, and then they were just holding a much better units in place for quite a while. And when you've got in this army now, with this change in my build, 35 of these units, it's going to be hard to fight them. It's going to be hard to fight this kind of army. And we've still got 5 cav units. And a lot of armies won't have tons of cav. So with your more standard armies, like, I don't know, Pictish army had 5 Celtic chariots. The Arab city, okay, they had about 13 cav, but then they only had 10 infantry. So, and the Bosphorans, they only had about 10 cav units plus some lights. So just the sheer numbers really is going to be hard to deal with. And also we've got the cheap skirmishers. We've got the 24 point, we've got 6 of those, and we could even take some light archers as well. So I'm going to take this army out in a test run. I'll put it up on YouTube. Let's see how they do. But probably I'm just going by sheer numbers. I'm going to go B+. my rating is going to be about a B plus, because some armies are just not going to have that much infantry, and these units are all light spear, so on impact they will do fairly well against most cav, other than, you know, good Byzantine lancers, good lancers, cataphracts, etc. But against your standard armored cav, noble cav, light lancers, those kind of units, they're going to do okay. So a B plus from me. If you played with this army recently, then, you know, let us know, put some comments below. If you think my rating's too high or too low, make your comments. But this is the real deal for spam armies, and let's have a look. I'll have a look, I'll test it out, and we'll see if it's worth a B plus. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again soon.